Guys, this is going to be a two-part video because the shooting is so long and there's so much shooting that it takes up, I think, 10 minutes in itself. So this is just a quick intro video. I'm going to show you what kind of ammo I'm using in this test. It's not really a test. These things I do with the hams, they're meant to be, you know, fun. They're basically just meant to show you what happens when you shoot big pieces of meat with big caliber rounds. So don't take it to heart. Don't think I'm trying to say that this one's better than that one or that one's better than this one. It's all about having a good time and just, you know, showing off guns I have and stuff like that. So don't get pissed at me and try to crucify me if you think I'm, you know, putting your favorite caliber down, because everything that you hear me say is just my opinion. It's not fact or anything, unless I say it is a fact, and then I'll let you know. But these are the 10mm Hydra-Shoks rounds, 180 grain. Last time I shot this gun, I used a silver tip Winchester Super X, which did not mushroom when they hit the ham. They just went right through. So this time I'm pretty sure that this round is going to mushroom out and do a little bit more damage. And out of the 357, out of my 66, I'm going to be using Gold Dot 135 grain short barrel, which have a very deep, as you can see, it's very wide opening, it's very deep. It's not like the rounds I used last time, which were the 158 grain Gold Dots, which were, the round was much more closed up. It wasn't, you know, that goes all the way down basically to the whole bullet, it seems. So I'm expecting a lot more damage on the entrance wound and exit wound with this, with these guys. So I apologize, because I promised a lot of you that I'm going to be doing my next ham shooting video in slow motion. Turns out iMovie 2008 does not have a slow motion feature. I don't know why. Apple must have had a really bad year in 2008 because of a couple other problems with my computer. So I guess I'm going to have to buy either iMac 2009 or download a 2006 version or something like that. So I'm pretty pissed off about that. And again, I apologize to the people that I told I'd be putting them in slow motion. Eventually I will have slow motion videos, so bear with me. I'm doing the best I can. So alright, that's the intro. 10mm versus 357. Like I said, don't take it to heart. These aren't 100% serious. It's just about having a good time and showing off guns. So stay tuned for the shooting. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Here we go for the shooting. I'm not going to be going that far away. I decided to shoot the flat side of the ham, so we give the bullet some more challenges as it comes through the rounded side of the ham. So I decided to put the camera behind the ham so we could see, and I'm going to hopefully try to figure out how to put it in slow motion. So alright, here comes the 357. Hopefully I don't ruin my camera by covering it with ham juice, because I'm going point blank here. Yep, I got some ham in my mouth. Good thing this ham's cooked. Alright, and let me go, hang on, I'm going to secure my gun, and then I'll take this the camera off the tripod, so bear with me here. Okay, so there is the exit wound. If anything did exit, I'm not sure, because if we come over here and we look, that is the entrance wound. Yeah, this is the 357 135 grain Gold Dot short barrel entrance wound. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's close range. It's basically point blank. I was standing so close when I shot it, I got a piece of ham that flew back right into my mouth. Luckily this ham is cooked, so I'm not going to die of trichinosis. So there we have the entrance wound of the 357. And that little hole right there must be the exit wound. But I'm not sure how much of this bullet actually did exit the ham, but these hollow points certainly did the job. They seem to expand it almost on impact. As you can see, that mess of a hole right there. So alright, I'm going to turn off the camera, set it back on the tripod, and then we're going to shoot the Glock 20 Hydra-Shoks 180 grain rounds, point blank. So let's see what happens. Alright dudes, here comes the 10mm 180 grain Hydra-Shoks round out of my Glock 20. Now if you remember, from the other video, the Super X bullet by Winchester did not expand whatsoever. So hopefully this round will have better luck. Alright, let me go put my gun down and then we'll take a close-up look. Okay guys, this is the entrance wound of the 10mm Hydra-Shoks, Federal Hydra-Shoks round, 180 grain. And as you'll know, or as you'll notice, the hole compared to the hole left by the Super X Winchester round, those rounds did not mushroom. That round just went right through the ham, both sides, and kept on going. But this, the Hydra-Shoks, definitely seemed to have expanded. Here's the entrance wound. Here's the exit wound. So, oh cool, there's part of the bullet. I don't know if you guys could see it. It's impossible for me to see because it's so bright. I have my sunglasses on. But yeah, that round definitely mushroomed. There's fragments inside of this piece of meat. But so yeah, that's the exit wound from the 10mm Hydra-Shoks. Now I got some 180 grain full metal jacket American Eagles that I'm just gonna finish off these two hams with. I'm just gonna destroy them. But I'll leave the camera facing the back of the ham. So there you have it. Let me get the 357 ham out here, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. How's that? All right. So here we got the 10mm hole. Pretty good. And we got the nasty 357 short barrel hole. Now, it's too close to say which one is the winner. I don't really like to compare them like that, as one of these guys is going to be the winner, one of them is going to be the loser. They're both pretty big winners, you know. They didn't mess to this ham. Until I get actual ballistic gel and the ballistic gel kit, it's going to be really hard to say, you know, who's more powerful. But I mean, if you want, if I was to say which of these two rounds were better for close defense, you know, self-defense type situation, I would go with the 357, because the 357 barely exited. It barely, I'm not even sure if it did or if just a little shrapnel or a little piece came out, but as you can see, it barely, you know, came out the back of this ham. And the 10mm blew its way out of that ham, no problem. So, you know, if you were going to be using either of these rounds for self-defense in a, you know, city type situation or an apartment building or even in your house, these 10mm or the 357 short barrel loads with the wider hole on the bullet, they definitely do a good job expanding. So I wouldn't be too afraid about, you know, the penetration with these, because they're basically designed to make a big nasty hole and not go through that much, because you know, the proof is in the pudding, or I should say ham, because we have a big nasty entrance wound and then we have a really tiny exit wound. So I would say, you know, I'd feel safer using that one for self-defense if I was in a, you know, a city type environment where there's lots of civilians in the background. I don't want the bullet coming out hitting a pedestrian or anything. Excuse me. But then here we have the 10mm hole. As you can see, it's a lot smaller than the 357 entrance hole. But then the difference is this has a huge exit wound, whereas the 357 has a little exit wound. Now I know some of you can argue that this bullet came out through the flesh, you know, this one actually went right through the hardest part, but we could, you know, decide. I'm gonna shoot this one again a couple more times with the gold dot short barrel round. So I'm gonna wash off my hands, put the camera back on the tripod, and we'll get some more close-up shooting